What is it for? Just 1 meal. It's not burn.
Could you mute yourself, please? Did you get the recording pop-up?
Yep, I did.
Perfect.
I okayed it.
Okay, and please join me in welcoming again our presenter, Rob Evans.
Thank you again, Dorothy. Hello to everyone here and whoever else is in the future watching us from the past. Kind of spooky when you think about it that way, isn't it? Okay, so I've never really attended one of these before, and I've never really done something like this before. I've done this kind of thing one-on-one. So that's the track I'm going to take. And I was thinking it'd be really cool. I know for myself, when I learn how to do something, the best way for me to learn how to do it is to screw up and then do it again. As well as just doing it just helps. If someone's going to rattle on to me for a while, I'm just going to fall right to sleep. So I don't want anybody to fall asleep. If you're a little bit tired, feel free to have a little nod off. Just turn your camera off so I don't get distracted. But I think what I would like to do is ask somebody who is currently has some speeches that they have not yet completed in Pathways, and then they can share their screen, log into their account, and we can watch as they go through it, and I'll help guide them through the process. That way, at least one person will know exactly what to do at the end of this evening. But for the rest of you, if anybody else happens to have a speech they want to finish off, and they have two laptops or they have two screens that they can watch me, watch what's going on, and watch their own stuff, then that's also a good way for them to learn how to do this. So I was talking with Richard earlier before we started, and he said he actually had a couple of speeches that he hasn't quite knocked off yet. So if it's okay still with you, Richard, we can use you as our guinea pig.
I'm sorry, we were at cross purposes there, Rob. I thought we were going to go on to Basecamp Manager and go through the process there. That's what I've been trying to do, and I've been unable to. So obviously we didn't talk very long, but that was what I was trying to put over to you. I'm sorry.
No worries, Richard. My understanding was that this was about Pathways, finishing up the speech in Pathways, right, Dorothy?
And Richard, yes, that's correct, Robert. Richard, we certainly can get to that at the towards the end of the session, because that's the next step after the level and path completion. Mm-hmm. So we will cover that.
Well, I'm pretty comfortable with finishing off the level. So from my user perspective, on my pathways, that is what I'm worried about right now is my job as an executive to complete. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
We'll make sure we cover that too. Well, we'll start with the Basecamp, or sorry, yeah, the Basecamp for level completion and speech completion. So is anybody here currently stuck at? Oh, I see Jan's got her hand up. Do you mind sharing your screen, Jan, and running through the process?
I'm great with that. Thank you.
Okay, great. We have ourselves a volunteer, everybody.
I did a speech on Thursday evening, and it was from my path presentation mastery, researching and presenting, and I have done nothing in Pathways for that. Okay,
great. Well, if you don't mind sharing your screen right now, we can get you through there.
Sure. Shall I show everyone the logging in process too, or should I just, oh, I can start.
If you want to, yeah, actually, if you don't mind that. We won't see your password.
No.
Right.
Yep, I gotta.
Because we're all watching.
Okay.
Now, if you don't mind, if you press Control and then minus on your keyboard, it'll actually shrink your screen just a little bit, so we can see more of it. There we go.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody fully drives.
Well, it'll show dots.
Yeah.
Oops.
So if anybody here has not got to this part yet, they're a brand new member, then once they log in for the very first time, they'll have to go down. You see where it says forgot password link. You click on that, you get an email, the ability to reset your password. So you need to do that very first. Once you do that, then you can log in just like we did here. Okay, So once you're logged in, you'll see your name at the very top. And what you want to do is go to Basecamp. You scroll down, click on Basecamp. Oh, and you're part of multiple clubs. That's great. That's another little wrinkle to everything. Make sure you do that properly. So,
And that's mostly when you're completing a level, right?
that's right. As far as I understand, if anybody knows anything different, Carlos or anybody, it doesn't really matter which club you log in. If you want to finish off a speech, all your VP of Educations will receive a notification. You just need to remember to let the right VP of Education know that you want to give that club a point.
Actually, Rob, if I could correct you there,
Okay.
if you want a level completion to go to a specific club, then you must be logged in as that club, because that email will go to only one club, the club that you were logged in for.
Okay. Great. Okay. If you scroll down to,
Can you see paths in education? Is that where I go?
yeah, pass and learning.
Sorry. See if they can say another.
Oh, this works too. So you're working on presentation mastery. You want to
Yes.
click on open curriculum. Okay. And the one you're working on is research and presenting.
Yes, it's in my level 1 because I've had this path for a while.
Okay. So yeah, click on activate.
Yes, done.
And one thing you have to make sure you do is you allow pop-ups on this website, which I could see that you have allowed that. So if you click on launch, so you click on activate first to activate the project, click on launch. And the best thing to do is when you're starting a new project is you come in here, you click on launch, you click on activate, it opens up the lesson, and you go through each slide and read it and find out what they want to tell you. But in this case, we're going to kind of do a quick little jumping around. Now, at the very bottom, you see move to another section, the little drop down menu thing, kind of in the middle.
How come I can't go down?
You can't
I
scroll
got
down?
I've got no scroll bar. What's
Oh, you
happening?
don't need to scroll down. It's just right at the very bottom there.
Oh, I need to move the menu for Zoom away out of the way too. Ah, okay. Sorry. Select this one,
No
move to
problem.
another
Yeah.
section.
Yeah, so click on that. And this is the way to jump around a little bit. Ideally, what we want you to do is you'd click on begin and you move to the next slide and read the information, click on the next slide, it might be a video, click on the next slide, go through everything so you learn about what they actually want to talk to you about or what you need to learn for this lesson. But in this case, we're going to kind of do it quickly. The very first thing I want you to go to is assess your skills before. And they give you lots of instructions too, so kind of, you don't have to worry about getting lost. So you just close that off, click on the directions tab. So here what they're doing is they're asking you to assess your skills before you do the project. So they're gonna ask you a bunch of different questions. You answer between 1 and 5, 5 being you're really comfortable, 1 you're not comfortable at all. So, and you need to do this in order to progress through the lesson. So you click on next. Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to say number 3 for everything. I'm probably because it's only my result, right?
Right. You click on submit. Yeah,
Submit.
very good. You close that. And now what we're going to do in a normal situation, if you click on the gray arrow to move to the next slide, but for this one today, if you go back down to that move to another section menu,
Sorry.
it's okay. I do that all the
I'm
time
sorry.
too. I do that
Sorry.
all the time. So the next thing I want you to look at is your evaluation, which is like second from the bottom. This is where you get your evaluation resource, the form you send to your evaluator if your club request that. So you click on the evaluation resource, you get a PDF form, you can fill it out with your information, your evaluator's information, the title of your speech, the date, save it, send it off to your evaluator, and they send it back to you, and you have a record of their evaluation. This also gives you an idea of like an overview of the project. You can print out your project, you can see the research, all the other PDFs that applies to your project here. So next thing we want to do is go to select to move to another section. And the very last one is assess your skills after. And here's the instruction.
Just before you do, sorry to interrupt you, Rob. Jen, did I understand that you have given this speech or that you have not?
I have. I haven't received my evaluation form, but I have given it and there was an evaluator.
Okay, so when you did this project, you hadn't gone through this part on pathways, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that we weren't going to do your assess your skills before you had actually done the project. Sorry to interrupt you, Rob.
No, but I've done the project numerous times, just not in pathways. Guess you'd say. But yes, I haven't been doing them properly. I haven't been going into questionnaires before I've given speeches. And there might be a question that comes up if we've got 3 paths and I finish researching and then I want to do researching on my next project, how that works. But if we're not there, that's okay.
Okay.
So shall I complete this one?
Yeah. Since you already completed it, yeah, so you just close the directions.
Yeah.
And answer as if it was however you want.
Yeah,
So next time you'll know how to do it for sure.
properly. Yes, I've been trying to do it
I'm not
properly.
sure why you're choosing 3 in your post speech.
Well, it's my assessment number. Usually the assessment number 3 is that you are comfortable and competent. For me, 4 and 5 are given for people who are above and beyond. They're like 5 is professional level. So, I mean, I could change this.
The objective afterwards is to see how you've improved on those topics or how you've become more comfortable or improved on them. So you typically wouldn't give yourself a 3 to begin with and then all 3s at the end. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
That's
you
true.
made mistakes and reality came in to your head and you thought, once you
do
get
it
to
again.
5, then where do you go anyway? I'm happy.
I
to
think this
begin.
is also for a demonstration purpose in a way. So I understand what you're saying. So once you're done, you're on the very last one, click on submit and you'll get a little pop-up that'll compare the 2. So if you did answer different values before and after, you'll see how you have improved. Once you close this and click on the gray arrow, you're done this level, or you've done this project, you've completed it. So when you close this tab at the very top, you just close the tab itself. Go up a little higher, like the multiple.
I can't move
Oh, really?
because I don't know, maybe because I'm screen sharing. I've got no right scroll bar.
Can you see it like above?
No.
Above your like above your toolbar. Can you go a little bit higher than that?
No, I go down right up
really?
into my bookmarks. My bookmarked.
You can't go above your bookmarks.
No, the bookmarks is hiding it, hiding the
Ooh.
top.
That's really strange. Yeah, try your arrow keys. Just press your arrow keys. Press down. On your keyboard.
Yeah, up and down aren't really moving anything, and I've got no.
Jen, you might try open curriculum again in the top line. You say Toastmasters, pathways, and then open curriculum.
I don't know how to get back to that.
Yeah, she doesn't know how to get.
Other tab here.
Yeah,
Oh.
here. Right
Okay,
now.
I think she has to close that tab.
Which one?
Oh, yeah, right there. Close that one.
Well,
Click on
close
the
the
close the
the-
Toastmaster Pathways Research. That one. Yeah, close that one. There you go. And now see it's reloading and you get the little blue check mark on research and presenting. So that means that that project is done.
Will you show us how to put the evaluation in?
Yeah, that's a good question. I never do that myself. I always just save my own evaluations. Oh, Carlos.
Yep. If you press evaluate in researching and presenting on the right side, there is a blue, yeah, you have 4 questions to answer, and so immediately your percentage in your level will increase. So evaluate.
If
Sorry.
I've only done one.
Yep. Now continue.
So I just, if I may interject here, there is 2 different terms for evaluate. That evaluate is, Toastmasters International is asking you to evaluate the project, not the evaluation from your evaluator when you gave the speech. So 2 very different things.
Right.
So Toastmasters appreciates your feedback on the project because they read every single one of these, and that's how they make improvements and updates to the Pathways program.
Okay. And the question was about actually uploading the evaluation you get from the evaluator. If I understood it right.
Correct, yes.
If you don't mind backing up, Jan.
Try my,
Yeah.
on my toolbar. Good.
Do you know where that is, Carlos, where you upload someone's evaluation? Is that back in the Basecamp homepage?
Is it under my account?
Well, what we can take advantage of now is that if Jan evaluates, she clicks on the evaluation, for the process, and then there are 4 questions, and then she can get into the speech evaluations and then select that one and send it to the evaluator.
Oh, I see. So the page you took us to, you filled the questions, you go to the next page, then you can upload your evaluation form. Okay.
First, she needs to evaluate, otherwise it will show incomplete. The VP of Education, no, Jan as a member will receive an email from Toastmasters International saying that, okay, Jan, you finished, but you need to evaluate your project. So she needs to click here in evaluate and then answer the 4 questions and then submit.
Okay.
Yep.
But that doesn't stop you from being able to claim the point for a
No, it does not.
DCP or it doesn't
Nope.
stop you from moving on.
No, it does not.
Okay.
Did
Just
I
let
not
you
go
know.
far enough through that page?
Yeah,
So-
yeah. If you don't mind trying again, we'll see what Carlos
Yeah,
is
Jan,
saying.
see, there's the question. Oh, hang on, go back to
Yes.
question 1.
Yeah.
Go back to question 1 more.
Oops, 2. Sorry.
Okay, so this project provided valuable information. Do you agree, somewhat agree, neither agree nor disagree, somewhat disagree, or disagree? It's a lot of words.
Mhm.
So you would just answer by clicking the little dot below those. This project provided valuable information. So what they're asking is as you go through the project and learn what you're supposed to be learning from this particular project, was it valuable information to you? Okay, and then you can write a comment if you like, or just go to question 2. The assignment supported the learning in this project. And again, you'll just choose one of those dots. Jen, if you could choose from the number 2.
Oh, sorry.
So the assignment supported the training in this project. Okay, so somewhat agree. So question 3 is, the tone and content of this project are appropriate for my Toastmasters club. And number 4 question, the amount of time required to complete all steps of the project is appropriate for the project level, either at 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And then if you click to the bottom, submit final answers. At the very bottom there on the left.
Oh, I
submit
had to
final-
move my Zoom
Oh, yeah, that little thing. there.
tiles,
Yeah.
submit final answers. Oh, I could have saved and returned later. Oh, well,
You're okay.
I'll do better next time.
Mhm.
And now, oh, I didn't get, there was nothing under
No.
that. So where are we now, Carlos? Or Rob, as to the evaluation sending to the VP Ed?
Okay, now it's researching and presenting. May I interrupt? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, now, you can go to your main page, right, home, click home on the left side, up, home.
Yes,
Okay, you see home, okay, now, your cursor in home and in the lower side, there will, yeah, home, there is, yeah, click on, yeah, right there. And now in the second tile, you see speech evaluations, click there. Scroll down, please. And then,
Carlos, I think you might have misunderstood the question. What they were wanting to do is to upload their evaluation into their documents.
okay, so again, so let's press, again, can we go home, please? Scroll up. Okay, again, home, right? Yep, there. Okay, now scroll down. On the right side, the last one is my documents. Can you click there in my documents? Right there. Perfect.
I think, yep. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, now there is level 1, level 2. That speech corresponds to level 1. So you should click on level 1. On the wording, level 1, right there. Okay. That speech should be uploaded into your computer. And then you add file, you take it, and then you put it there, you put in your level 1.
And to be clear, the person uploading this file would be Jan, not Jan's evaluator.
Correct.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you. That was helpful. I kind of had lost that ability for a while.
And this is a optional thing as well. You can keep your own evaluations on your own computer if you like, or you can upload them. I don't know if there's what the advantage of uploading them here is. Maybe just have them all in one place.
If I could offer my comments there. The advantage is if you were to say you were to step away from Toastmasters for 6 months or a year or maybe 5 years, by putting them in here, they will be stored there so that when you rejoin Toastmasters, all your evaluations will be here. If you want to go back and look at, you did this project, what sort of feedback did I get? Then you'd have access to it.
So they're on the cloud.
Well, yeah, in the
The cloud.
Toastmasters cloud somewhere.
Cloud is just somebody else's computer. Okay.
May I ask a question? If I had an evaluation for researching and presenting, if I had it in my hands, how do I've got it as an attachment to an email. How do I bring it into this add file? Because I don't see anything indicated on Basecamp here.
Go ahead and click add file. Carlos, do you want to finish up there?
Ah,
So yeah, someone sent to you as an email attachment. You can save that attachment to your desktop, for example, or your My
Yes.
Documents, wherever it's easy to find. You just either click on select a file, or you can actually drag it into that dotted line there, and it'll upload it. Load it.
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have some.
Okay, I think I saw one question pop up about how does the club get the credit, or how you finish up a level? Was that the question I saw? How do we get credit for this in the system? That was from Michael. I assume you're talking about the Distinguished Club Plan? I'm just
No, I get credit for the speech itself. So the TMI recognizes you have the speech, so when you continue on, you can finish your pathway and you get credit for it at TMI.
okay. Jan, if you don't mind going back to your curriculum, you click on the home button.
press back.
And then if you scroll down, click on presentation mastery, open curriculum. So right now, she has the credit for that one speech that has been completed, the research and presenting. Once she does the same thing for evaluation and feedback and finishes up that project, does the exact same steps, a little bit more reading, of course, reading all the tiles and stuff like that, not jumping through like we did today. Once she gets done that, you'll see a activate button beside the level 1 completion presentation mastery. You click on that, it opens up a PDF with a little bit more instructions. All you really need to do is just close it, and you come back and it will, I believe the status will change to pending approval. And that's when your VP of Education will get the notification that you've completed it. And they'll go into theirs. I'm sorry?
That's the question. That's the question. How do we do that? Because people who are going to be area directors or anything like that will have that opportunity to do that.
Yeah. At this moment, there's no way to really show you unless we go through the evaluation and feedback project and get her to complete it off. But once she does, you'll see a little blue bar. Just like where it says launch right now, it'll say activate on that same line.
And I can press this button now for level 1 completion, and we can see what it would say if I'm not complete. No.
Dorothy, 1 second,
Yeah.
Jen.
Okay, so let's just back up a bit. If you look at the level 1 that is on the screen now, there is a check mark beside icebreaker and beside research and presenting. The evaluation and feedback is not completed. It's not done in Pathways. So the only way to get to that next point is for her to do that evaluation and feedback project by clicking activate, going through the learning things, and then actually do the speech and the project. Once she does that, comes back in, does the assess your skills after, then you would get 3 check marks, and that blue box where it says launch would appear under that, beside that level 1 completion in the right-hand corner at the bottom. It's not there now. It won't appear until she completes all of the projects in here. Once you click on that launch for level 1 completion, the system will change the status to pending prior approval, pending approval. And she would have to wait until the Basecamp manager for the club that she wants to give this credit to, she needs to be logged into the right club so that that club gets the email. Then it would, once they approved it, then it would say there that she had completed it, and it will change on the left-hand side under presentation mastery where it says level 1 and there's a circle. It will make that circle blue, showing that that level 1 is complete. And that's not something that anyone else has control over. Jan finishes the projects, she marks it as complete. The system sends an email to the Basecamp manager of her club. The Basecamp manager approves it, meaning that they make sure that she's done the project, that she has the evaluations, that the Basecamp manager or VP of Ed have seen the proof that she's done it before they mark it complete, because that's with integrity, that they're actually checking it and not just seeing that Jen ticked off the boxes without actually doing it. Then it'll complete that level. Now, Michael, what you were asking about was area director. Area director has nothing to do with this. Area director can never do anything in this Basecamp manager. This is for the club to do, not Basecamp manager. And if I may, could I show you my screen, because Jan has a older version of level 1 that has actually changed now. Jan, do you mind if I stop sharing? Okay. So this is what level 1 looks like now. So it has icebreaker, writing a speech with purpose, introduction to vocal variety and body language, and evaluation and feedback. It's quite different than the first version of level 1. So if you've purchased a a path, probably since about September of last year. This is what it would look like. If you have a path that is older than that, it looks like the one that Jan just showed.
There's
And
one more
this
speech.
is an improvement. This is good learning. Back to you, Rob.
Thank you. Thank you, Dorothy. So
Can I ask-
when it comes to,
Can I ask
Oh.
a question?
Sure.
As a person who does more evaluating than giving speeches, I have a difficult time finding a speech evaluation, or it doesn't allow me to go. Is there any way that if we already have a path and we haven't started working on it, that Toastmasters International will switch us to the new method, the new configuration? Or are we stuck with the paths we've had for a long time, having them like mine?
I'll let Dorothy answer that.
When you purchase a path, you have 30 days to change your mind, contact Toastmasters International and change the path. If you've had it for more than 30 days, then you can keep that path in your bank there and keep on, progressing through them. But once it's past the 30 days, you own that path. There's no turning back.
Oh, actually, the question I was asking is, could I have any of my paths switched so that researching and presenting is in level 3, like all of the new people that are coming in that I'm evaluating for, so I can know what theirs looks like.
Okay, so Jen, I think what you're asking is if you can access someone else's evaluation. Is that what you're asking?
I can, but I know they're doing it in level 3, and I have to go in under level 1 to obtain an evaluation form.
But the speaker is supposed to provide you with the evaluation, not the other way around.
I think she's asking can she have an updated path since she has the old unupdated path.
No, but it's the speaker's responsibility to give the evaluator the evaluation, not for the evaluator to go find the evaluation. So you don't have to have their path. They need to download their evaluation and send it to the evaluator. Now, but Jen, for everyone, you can go to, let me show you. So if I go back here to home and I go to speech evaluations, and give me an example, Jan, of what was the one you were looking for?
Well, just say researching and presenting.
Okay, so we all know this is alphabetical. So research and presenting is right here. And it says that this is the old version. So I used to have this in my old version, but it's not in my current.
Dorothy, sorry to interrupt you. Can you click here, there?
Yeah.
Click here.
So,
and go on that.
So I don't actually have it. And you will experience this as well if this is not one of the projects that you have open. See right here, it says click here. It's very small. If I click there, it will allow me to request that evaluation. And when I request it, it says I've already completed this training, so I don't need it. But if I do want to get that evaluation form, I can launch. So I'm just clicking through the process here. I can launch it. It shows it to me, and now I can download it. Okay, does that make sense? Is that what you
Yes.
wanted to do, John?
Well, that is what I have. That is what I have been doing when I've been at a meeting and an impromptu situation where I'm evaluating, perhaps it's decided at the meeting that I accepted as being their evaluator, or we haven't done the training with the people so that they know how to pull up the evaluation and provide it to their evaluators.
Okay.
All right, okay. Next thing, we're talking about points. People who are in multiple clubs. So from what I understand, My head kind of swims around this a little bit, but like there's two systems that the Toastmasters International have. There is the database system that we were all looking at with Jan's, but then there's also the system where we submit our educational awards, that the VP of Education will submit the education awards in order to get the Distinguished Club point. They actually apparently they don't talk to each other. So any of your VP of Educations can go on and they can look up your name and they can submit a reward on your behalf. And that's happened in one club I was in, where someone kept on, they would go in and they would see Rob Evans and they say, submit level 3, even though I haven't finished level 3 yet. And he was able to submit it. And then he was able to submit level 4 and level 5. And it caused a little bit of a problem. So what I'm saying is that if you are in multiple clubs, you should let all your VP of Educations know that you have submitted you finished a level and that you want to give your award to a certain club, so that those other VP of Educations, they don't see that that's available and submit it on your behalf. Do I make sense when I say that? Does that make, yeah. So you want to make sure you give the right point to the right club and the other clubs don't accidentally take it, because it's quite, as good as the system is for Toastmasters, they really need to do a little bit more work on usability, and it's quite easy to get lost and to click on something you weren't supposed to click on, or not mess things up, but get lost anyway. Dorothy.
They are continuing to work on it. Eventually, Pathways will be integrated with Club Central. It's just a long process.
Club Central, that was a phrase I was looking for. Thank you. Club Central is where you submit the education award for the DCP point. Okay, anybody have any questions? I think kind of went through the demo. Michael. Lois. Oh, you're on mute, Michael. Oh, you're still muted, Michael. Oh. Move on. Okay, Lois, I saw your hand go up too.
Yes, thanks, Rob. I have some older members of our club who'd like to repeat speeches that they've given just to demonstrate to the other members. How do you go through the process of redoing a speech in Pathways?
As far as there's no way to redo a speech to get the point for it. I mean, it's up to your club if you want to allow a member to redo a speech and be evaluated on it. Just like where Dorothy showed us where to get the evaluation form, so you can get the evaluation form from there or from the actual lesson, because you can open up a lesson even after you've completed it. So they could download the evaluation form there and just get approval by the VP of Education to redo the speech. But once again, they won't get a point for it. They won't get 2 blue check marks on that one. Oh, okay, Dorothy's raised her. Dorothy?
Lois, what is the purpose of redoing the speech?
Often our club is struggling with low membership, and often it's just to fill in the program and also to demonstrate to our few new members how to give a speech.
Okay, so first of all, if we are living in integrity in the Toastmasters program, we are to use the education program thoroughly, meaning that we're supposed to go into our path, we're supposed to go through the project and take the learning from it. And it doesn't matter if you do the same project twice or something similar to it, because when you do something a second time, you're not the same person that you were when you did it the first time. So, for example, if I had given a speech on ice cream, and I did that for the project was practicing my gestures. And there was a project in my path that was specifically for practicing gestures. But I want to give that speech again And in my projects, because you can jump around in your path, you don't have to follow it one right after the other. I see that there's an option to do a speech on vocal variety. Well, I could take my ice cream speech and I could give the exact same speech, but I could emphasize my vocal variety, which would fulfill the requirements or the learning in that project. So what I would do is I'd go look through every project in my path and say, where can I use that speech and get a different kind of learning out of that project? And that way I could get credit for it. And I do that often because I want to learn something different. I already know the speech, but I want to practice something different than the way I originally delivered it.
Okay,
Does
good
that make sense?
suggestion. Yeah.
I like that answer. Thanks, Dorothy. Jen?
I hate to say this, but I have a printout from way back that I used to look up projects. But how do we do that, Dorothy, in Pathways? How can we use the system to review our path and what projects are available to us?
Okay, can I share screen? Okay, so this is my level 1 in effective coaching, and you can see that all of them are checked off. So, and this, by the way, is the old version of this path. And then in level 2, I've completed everything in level 2. So in level 3, if I want to see what the options are, I must do this project here. This is mandatory, reaching consensus. But the elective projects, all I have to do is view details, and it gives me all the options of what there is in here. So if I want to learn something, find out what the learning is going to be, I could just click on any one of these titles and it will tell me, sorry, I've already launched this one. I will activate it and I can click on this and it'll tell me what the learning is in this project. Oops. View details here. Nope, that's not it. Carlos, can you help me?
Yes, Dorothy, I guess that first you need to click on a project you have already done or take the required time for the tile to become green.
I'm not following you.
For example, let's see which one. Okay, this is connect with your audience.
It's thinking. Okay, so here's my project. So I just did it too quickly. It didn't catch up with me. And then I can go and read the assignment. The assignment overview is to choose a speech topic that lends itself well to using visual aids. So say you wanted to use visual aids. Create at least one, but not more than 3 visual aids to enhance your presentation and give a 5 to 7 minute speech. So all you want to do is be patient. It takes a while sometimes for it to load and go look at, you could go look at all of them. And I do, I open up all of them to go see, well, what is the learning outcome that I'm looking for? Back to you, Rob.
All right, thanks, Dorothy. I'm glad you guys are here. I'm learning some stuff too. So Michael was asking about where you can see a history of printable downloads for rewards and plaques. I assume, did that kind of answer your question, Michael? What you just saw there to see what you've completed?
Yeah, for the electives and things like that, and what we completed. Yeah, I was kind of curious about that. But
Okay.
My second question is
Okay,
the
so
plaques.
There's one more step. Are you talking about the certificate?
Yes.
Okay, so
When
you
you
just
complete a
go
level?
open. You just go open your path. Sorry, let me get out of here. That darn bar is in the way. Let's go back to here. So see, let's go to level 2 here. So in level 2, I've completed it. See right here, it says view certificate down at the bottom. So if you've completed something, level 2 is complete. I can click on view certificate. And do you see it now? Do
No,
you see my certificate?
no, I think it opened up in another window or another
Okay.
tab or something.
Okay, so let me just share again.
Yeah.
So when I clicked on that, it shows me my certificate. I can download it and put it on my computer.
And that's printable too.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Wonderful,
PDF.
thank you. Okay, excellent.
So remember,
Thank you very
once you
much.
complete it, it says view certificate down here.
Okay. Also, aside from pathways with the old system, it's in Toastmasters International. Where do we find that? Or is that a different topic altogether?
The old system, like
Yeah, like the certificates from the old system. I mean, it told us that we'll get certificates for everything, but they're in the system, are they not?
you're talking about this competent communicator, the company.
Yeah.
Those.
Are they in the system like the same or not?
Mm,
Can the
certificates?
Basecamp manager download that certificate and present it to the member?
No, I know.
Yeah,
If you
yes, you
go
can.
into Toastmasters International and your profile, your personal profile, you can look at all the positions you've held in club executive, district executive. You can look at all of your competent communicator, competent leaders, etc. back several years.
Does it show your certificates or does it show you that you've achieved it?
There were no certificates before.
No. Membership.
So here you can download your data. Here's your membership history. And there's, they've changed this a bit. Download my data. No. Oh, they've moved everything.
they are in the achievement. Go back. Yeah, okay. My home. Yes, my home. Right now, scroll down.
Achievement board.
Right, there it is.
Okay, so here's your education awards. So everything that I've done is listed right here. And it won't show you certificates, but it'll show you that it was completed, the date, and what club you gave it to.
Okay, excellent. But the certificates are in there somewhere, right?
There were no certificates for the previous.
Wow. Okay. All right.
System.
Very
That's-
good.
Yes, there were,
that-
Dorothy. They mailed them.
They came in the mail.
Oh, that's true. They
Yeah.
mailed them. Yeah,
Oh,
but you
I
know
see.
what,
Very good.
Michael, that is history. We're moving forward in pathways.
Oh,
We-
no,
we
no
don't-
worries. I was kind of curious. That's fine. No problem. Sorry about that. It's all good.
I saw Virginia had her hand up. We still have a question, Virginia?
Yes, I was just, Rob, I'd just like to, and Dorothy would probably like to show this too, probably, is the options page is really a great way in your levels to check out, to get a really good view of the whole path. It shows you where you are, you know, your whole path. It shows you can launch from there. You can get details from there. And I just think it's an amazing page, the options page. It's in the top right when you go
Virginia,
in.
why don't you share screen?
Well, you're there, right, already?
Okay.
It would be easier if you just go there because you have your stuff up.
You're speaking about in pathways?
Yep.
Oh, sorry, I have to go back now. Hold on. It's slow.
I'm trying to log in as fast as you, see if I can get there before you do. But I have to prove I'm not a computer first. Hate those things.
Virginia, you want to direct me where you want me to go?
So you check into anything you're doing and go into the, like, say, effective coaching or leadership development, wherever. There you go. And there's options right on the right. Training details. What a superb page.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
A superb page. I just find it super handy. Not only does it
Oh, I thought you
describe
said go to a superb page.
No, it's a superb page, I think, because it shows you all the different levels. It gives you some idea of how you could redo a speech, as we had that earlier question. And you can also, it shows you if you've done it before, it shows you that you can launch it again from there. Right. So if you even launch one of those again, it launches it in a separate window. So when you're finished with it and you close it, you still have that options window open. So it's a really great. And then if you go to the far right and look at it, it gives you the details of that particular project.
Does it give you the objectives? Is that what the details are?
Yeah. Yes. And also if you are, and that's when you click on, there you go.
Okay.
So this one's inspire your audience.
Yeah. But you can close that window and go.
Sorry, may I have a question? How did you get to this page?
Okay, I'll just go backwards here for you.
Yes, please.
Okay, so here is the page that I was on. I can launch, this is the path that I'm on in the top right-hand corner here where it says options.
Yes.
Click on options, go to view training details. It opens up that big page right here. Just scroll down. And of course, this is just that one path. It doesn't show all my paths right here, just this one that I'm in right now, effective coaching. And then it's pretty straightforward, level 1, 2, 3. And you see how it lists all of the projects in here. And if can I click here, Virginia? Will it do anything?
You have to actually click into, you have to kind of click into the second column from the right in order to actually get details. But there it shows you the description, which is pretty cool.
It is.
Looks like you can do some filtering at the very top as well. There's under curriculum, there's stuff to train.
All training, activated training, not activated training. Check to sort by due date. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great page. It really shows you your
It really is.
advance. Yeah.
Okay, so up here in the corner, options.
Yeah. Whereas this page just shows you your level, right? So if you want to get a bigger picture where you can go, what you might consider, it's great sometimes. We had that lesson. Oh, I can't remember who taught it to us, where you start in level 5 and work back. What was that wonderful speaker? It's a very interesting way of approaching your path, right? So you got to know what was in the back of the path, and then you could work way. That great Toastmaster from, was it San Francisco or Los Angeles? What's her name?
Go start at level 5 and work backwards.
Yeah.
I guess that's more for advanced.
No. It's when you're beginning to think about a path.
Oh, I see.
I'm getting out of my league here. This is for Dorothy, but I just remember this amazing speech that she gave, where when you weren't sure about your path, go into level 5, learn what you do there, and that helps you shape all those speeches that come before.
So you're setting your goal first by looking at what's the end result.
Yes.
Right.
And it saves you so much time, right? And to the question about, what if we want to do that speech again or whatever, it gives you that really good sense of, like in each one of those levels, I have to do one speech, but then I get X electives, and what am I going to do there?
Great.
So,
thank you.
So it's a great page. Poke around, everybody.
I saw Carlos had his hand up. We got 3 minutes left.
Yeah,
time for more questions.
The question is that appears when one member tells you as a VP of education that they have tried everything and this percentage, let's say 63%, doesn't show up, right? So you can help the member by asking, okay, why? So there is this arrow, you click here, and then you see here training details. This is going to tell you that the member has probably, if this is not green, it is all white, it just means that the member probably has checked the project. He may have read it fully, totally, but he has not worked on the assessment before or the assessment after. So, and also it's telling you that this member, for example, has worked 2 hours and so on, so on, so on. If there is less than 10 minutes, the robot is not going to record that. And then it's almost sure that you should, as a VP of Education, sit down with the member and ask him to please open and, you know, work with him as we did today, as Rob nicely and kindly did it today with us. So to help him in the assessment and open and all that. I just wanted to share that. Thank you.
That's good. Thank you. I think that assessment wasn't a requirement in the early days. You could just kind of go through and just click on complete and you're done. But now you have to do assess before and after, and you can't go on. So
It was always a requirement.
was it really? Oh, okay.
You were
I
just
just always-
good, Rob, and you
I
did
just
it.
always read everything. All right, it's we got 2 more minutes. I think we might have one time for a quick one.
Rob, have you gone over the path completion?
Oh no, we didn't go over that. I've never actually completed a path yet. So
Okay.
um,
Can I, I'm just going to go back here.
from what I know, it's pretty much the same as completing. You complete your 5 levels, then you do a speech, you activate it, and you're done.
There is a reflect on your path speech.
Yeah.
Right? After you finish the 5 levels, there is a reflect on your path speech. Usually, sometimes it takes 2 projects.
And they work the same as any other speech. You launch it, you have the lesson to read through, probably assess your skills before and after, that kind of thing. Get an evaluation form, send it off. So it's like a regular speech, it's just a little bit longer and it's covers the entire path. For Dorothy, were you pulling that up?
I'm trying to. It's slow. Really frustrating when it gets slow.
They're all watching you, like watching that pot boil.
Okay, so here's effective coaching, and I'm not near finishing. So I've done level 1 and level 2. My level 3. Gosh, it's so slow. So I've done, see, I don't know if you can see this. Under elective projects, it says that the minimum required is 2, and I've completed 2. So this is actually finished, but I haven't done reaching consensus. So this level 3 can't be marked complete. And then, but if you look over on the left-hand side, it shows that the electives are complete, just not the mandatory project. Level 4, same thing. I haven't done it. Level 5, I haven't done it. But if all of these were blue with this blue check mark in here, then it would show down here in this level 5 completion, it would have this blue box that I could activate it, and it would go from pending prior training to waiting for approval. Once my Basecamp manager had approved it, and the only way they can approve it is everything has a check mark. If these are not check marks, it means I haven't done the assess your skills before or after. Something is missing if you don't have these check marks. But if it did, then the system automatically sends an email to your VP of Education or your Basecamp manager for the club that you're logged into. And then you can actually say you're finished your path at that point, unless you want to be sure that you can use that path completion for a DTM. If you want to use a path completion for a DTM, then you must complete this last project right here on the left under level 5. It says path completion. You must do that if you want recognition towards a DTM. If you don't, it'll show the path complete, but not qualified for DTM.
Okay. Thank you for explaining that.
You bet.
That's good. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's 8 o'clock, 8:02 actually. I believe if you want to go, feel free to go. If somebody has any more questions, I can stick around for a few more minutes. Chuck, I
Thanks
see
for
here.
coming, everyone.
Thank you all
Thank
very
you.
We
much.
hope that was helpful. We will
Thanks, everyone.
actually,
Appreciate it.
we will address the question of Club Central. If you'd like to stay for Club Central, you're welcome to. Otherwise, feel free to enjoy the rest of your evening.
I'll stay.
Rob, can you direct for Club Central?
Yep, I can show that. Chuck had a question first before I do that. Was it about Club Central?
Oh, I was saying goodbye when I was doing this.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But I did have a question down in the chat earlier, but I want you to go ahead with Club Central. I'll just listen.
Chuck,
Okay.
we can take your question.
I got to queue it up anyway, so feel free while I do that.
While he's getting his,
Oh. But you can ask your question, Chuck, if you like. Oh, you're on mute.
As VP Education, how do I get reports on which members are working through their paths and where they're at? Is that something that I'm able to do? And that's, I think, Club Central or
Yeah.
Okay.
That's in Club Central. There's something there that's kind of cool. I discovered this the other day. That under Basecamp, actually, a Basecamp manager, but I'll show you that in a second. But so for Club Central, when you have a member that's completed a level or a path, and they want you to submit the awards for that club, then this is where you would go. So submit education awards. You find the member that you want to submit the award for, and then you find you'd see the level that's available right there. Now, like I say, they're not communicating right now between Basecamp and Club Central, so you have to be really careful that you are clicking on the right member and the right award, because you could accidentally, if I selected level 1 for Farhad here and I went back, I would see level 2 in there, and I could approve every single level all the way up to level 5, even though he hasn't completed all of them, and we're taking points away from him and points away from the future. So we don't want to do that. So you really have to make sure that you're clicking on the right member and the right level that has been completed. But you will see it here.
and Rob, perhaps we should address what to do if that happens.
The only way I know how to do it, this is a better way to do it, is actually to contact Club Central. There's an email somewhere. I'm just looking on the page if we can find it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
what you would need to do is send an email to Toastmasters International saying, as a Basecamp manager, I accidentally submitted an award that that I shouldn't have, and could you please reverse this? And they will.
It takes a little bit of time, from
Yeah.
my understanding.
And I've
They
done
will
that. I have accidentally done that,
What?
so I know.
Hi, Rob. I've done that as well. How do you know, like, we're way behind in one of our clubs, are way behind checking. We've done the base camp, but we haven't gone to the for DCP points. How do we figure that out?
That's a very good question. It's a good segue into the next thing I want to show you guys. It is tough. My old club, or my club that I'm in District 21, we were pretty behind as well, and we weren't communicating, and people weren't doing the levels properly, so it would get to be a bit of a mess. I was able to sort it out though by when I go to, you want to go in, log in as your Basecamp manager. There's a couple different ways. So I am the Basecamp manager for my club Aspire. So I got there by going to my home and then scrolling, going to Basecamp and scrolling down to the club that you want to be a Basecamp manager for.
And it tells you right there, the bottom ones, it said Basecamp manager, the top 3 were, he was just a member.
That's right. Yeah. So you'll see this, and you'll see this is where the pending requests come from when you have a member who does complete a thing for you to approve it. This is where it shows up here. Member progress. There is a bunch of charts you'll see that, to me, it doesn't really tell me too much, but when I click on view details for each one, it gives me a little bit more information. So you see you have a chart here that shows you some stuff. But the best thing that I found was if I go up here to search and we're gonna search for Shaquille. So you just type in the member's name, you click on paths and learning, and then you'll actually see all the different paths that he has started. So I want to look at presentation mastery. I click on that, open curriculum, and I could see how he's doing with all the different levels.
Oh, stay here. This is a really good example. See on the bottom there, it says path completion. So he's done all 5 levels, but his path completion says it's only 50%. So he needs to do one more thing in order to complete it. As a matter of fact, he's already done reflect on your path. He's given that speech. We know that because there's a check mark. And then the next thing is path completion. All he needs to do is to click on that view training details and follow that process, and he will have that actually recorded for potentially for a DTM.
So if he doesn't want it recorded for DTM, he leaves it undone like this?
No, I would encourage everyone to mark it as it requires a speech. You have to give a speech because you're talking about your path and what you got out of doing that path. It's very valuable. I say do it for all of them. It's worthwhile.
If he's gone this far, he might as well just finish it up. I think he's pretty busy, so he hasn't had a chance to get around doing it. I gotta nag him a little bit more, I think, get him to do it. And also, I believe like we're seeing view training details here, but on his side, he'd be seeing launch or activate.
No, he wouldn't, because he's already, see on the left-hand side, it's got a check mark. It's
Or this
completed.
one,
That
or
one.
he would see something different. Yeah, see something different there. But I can go into each one. So for your question, Angela, this is how I was able to figure everything out to see where people were. I was able to look up members, find them, click on their paths, and see how much they've completed. So if something got completed that got sent, like Shaquille, I think he at level 5 was completed, even though he hadn't actually completed it yet. So I was able to look at this and see, oh, it was completed by mistake, and was able to get it backed up. The only thing I haven't, sorry, Dorothy.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the only time this doesn't work is if I have a member who is in multiple clubs. Like I have Farhad, he's in 2 clubs, and I can't bring up his.
Because if you're logged in to Pathways in one club, the other club that you belong to cannot see you. You have to be logged in to that club in order for your Basecamp manager to see you.
So I'd have to get him to log back into Basecamp and click on Aspire. Okay. That's good.
So Angela, your question was to be able to see who's done what. And you can actually do it at that other screen as well, Rob, by clicking on.
We got to back up.
Yeah. And go to options in the top right corner there.
Okay.
And just refresh. Okay, so when this takes a while. See, it's you can tell it's refreshing down in the bottom left corner.
You can.
The wheel of death.
On the left-hand side, Angela, of the screen, you can see that on the far left, it says individual progress, level completions, path progress, path type, gives you all these options. So depending on what view you want to see, if you only want to see one person, you would keep it on individual. But if you want to see all the level completions, this would be the way to go. And path progress would be the third one. And you can always, as Rob showed you, go to path progress in that top right-hand corner there. Rob, can you go back to the corner where that, oh, it's thinking.
Refresh again.
Yeah, remember to refresh because it needs to be refreshed regularly. There's a lot of data there for it to go find.
Yep.
So in these boxes here, you can see one is status of all paths, paths registered, not yet started, paths completed, paths in progress. So let's go to paths in progress on the bottom left there. So you can see dynamic leadership. Go to view details, yeah. And you can export this to an Excel spreadsheet too.
Mhm.
Okay, so
It's giving us the finger.
yeah. And I believe that if you click on one of those
Down here.
the bars, yeah, click on that. What does anything happen?
No,
No.
just
Okay.
highlights it.
There is a way that you can see names. Oh, here you go. So you can see that the first one, dynamic leadership, is in oh, yeah, stay there. Dynamic leadership is in progress, and Nafiz Ishfaral is doing that. So you see in that column, you can see the names of who's working on it and how far they've got.
Mm.
And yeah, see, all of these are in progress and transcript assigned, and they've got the dates there of when they went in. Does that help, Angela? You know what? I really encourage people to go in here and play, click on things, because even I am still finding things that I didn't know before. And I thought I was pretty proficient, but you got to go in here and play with it. Click on things. Sometimes you don't know what to click on. Click on everything.
Yeah. Unless you're in the spin an award for somebody. Don't click on that unless you know for sure.
Yeah.
See, now that member I was looking for, Farhad, he's not listed in here anywhere. Because he was signed in
To another club.
another club. And if he signed into this one, it would show up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Chuck, did you have another question?
Yes, is there a roadmap for some of these things that we need to be able to do? Because I go in and play around, and a week later or 2 days later, I can't remember how I got there. Is there a roadmap for some of these basic kinds of administrative things we can do in?
You talking about like kind of a cheat sheet kind of a thing, like
Yes.
click on this, click on that.
Can I send you back to Rob? I'm going to take over the screen.
Okay.
Can I send you back to this page? Remember this page? Right here, it says tutorials and resources. And I tell you, nobody uses it. And this is a brilliant place to go. Because if you go to tutorials and resources, it gives you, did it show you this new screen that I'm on?
Yeah.
Tutorials and resources. Okay. So it gives you all the resources here, and they've got videos and transcripts of how to do this stuff. Evaluation resources are here. Project descriptions are here. Resource documents, frequently asked questions, Basecamp glossary. If you're a Basecamp manager and you're not sure how to do something, come here. They've got tutorials here for you on how to do this. I want all. Okay, so let's say you wanted to have No, that wasn't a good example. Assessing your accessing speech evaluation resources. This is where Jan could go. How to access those evaluation forms. Accessing your path. The mentoring program. These are all tutorials. See, this one's a video. Oh, it says transcript. That means it's a video. They're all here. There are hundreds of them that'll help you learn to do things. So if you're unsure about something, just come here and search it. There's a club coach manager, club coach program, supplement materials. This is really valuable. All of it is valuable.
And this is for base camp managers, not.
Anyone can go here.
Anyone can go.
Anyone.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So go to that tutorials and resources. It is an amazing resource. What I was doing and why I know that is because people would ask me questions and I'd go and make a little video from my own computer. And then I thought, why am I doing this? All of these videos are already here to explain how to do it. Will that help you, Chuck?
It's brilliant. Thank you. Yes, we just forget these basic things.
Absolutely. And I have to go refresh myself too.
Mhm.
That project description one, this is, I should have sent Jan here. You see, she could go in here and find all of those projects. And in different languages. Heck, if you speak Japanese or Arabic, it's here too.
Or if you want a challenge,
Yeah.
you don't speak any of the languages.
Correct me, are Toastmaster clubs all in English, or do you have Arabic Toastmaster clubs where they practice in Arabic? Is that how it works?
They can speak in whatever language they want, but if they want to enter a contest, it has to be in English.
How do you in Arabic?
Okay, that's your assignment, Chuck. Find out how to in Arabic.
Dorothy, may I share with Chuck another resource for him to check? May I share?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Look at this. Chuck, you have pending requests, members progress, but here in the manager tutorials is all you need, right? Here is level completion, information, but this is here, there are all the videos.
Oh, great.
Right? So you can go print the certificates responding to level here, just here for the Basecamp manager.
It's fast.
So, yep. So Toastmasters has created this and has given us all the resources. Sometimes I am allergic to work, so I take a little longer, but it's all there. It's all there.
So I could have just showed a bunch of videos and not said a word tonight.
You could, yeah.
Next time.
Any other questions? Richard, did we answer your question about Club Central?
It wasn't actually about Club Central. I didn't have too much problem with that, and I'd used it a few times. No, the problem was that I'd previously checked up on the status of the members within the clubs and checked off some things that might actually have been Club Central. Couldn't think of it. And I cleaned that all up and put everything up to date. And I was trying to get into the same mode and do it again. And I tried a couple of times in the last 2 weeks to get into Pathways, and I just couldn't navigate it. I just couldn't find my way through Basecamp Manager. I'm glad I've been here tonight because I've seen how it's done, and it was actually very familiar. It wasn't something I hadn't done before. But I don't know, maybe there was something different in the screens from when I'd used it a few months back. But for some reason or other, I had a hard job getting to where I knew I should be. But I think I've got a few more tools after tonight. Thank you.
Great.
Great.
Can I just throw another one out here?
Sure.
There's only the 9 of us left now. And we know that we've had Pathways for, what is it, 5 years now? And we're all experienced. And I'm not speaking maybe for Carlos or Dorothy, or shown a great, and Rob, who's shown a great deal of knowledge in this. But what, experienced Toastmasters over 5 years are still struggling with the basics of this. And that's something that's got to go back up to the top, Really
Richard, have you been, you got the You got an email about this session tonight, is that true?
I got it today. I got it 2
Yeah.
hours before the meeting. And
So-
that's another issue.
Okay, so Richard, the struggle that all districts have is that information comes down from the district, it comes from the district, which is down here. It goes to
Yeah.
the division directors, it goes to the area directors. Area directors have to share it with their clubs. Because clubs and their members are at the top of the pyramid. All of us down here are to serve you. But I'm not, as a district team member, I'm not supposed to be sending emails to members. It's supposed to be going through the channels to get to you.
Yeah.
And I get frustrated because we have these sessions twice a month on a Monday. And the number of people that come out is disappointing because I know that you need this information and we don't get people coming. Now, we have a newsletter. We have a monthly newsletter. The first of the month, you get a newsletter. And if you're not getting it, then you need to find out why, because all of our sessions are advertised in our newsletter. We
And that's
want to
from-
be
And that's from District 21.
District 21. It's from me and Karen and Virginia. We put all of our info into that newsletter. Every month you will see these sessions in the newsletter, but many people have opted out of the newsletter or it gets buried in their inbox and they don't see it.
Okay.
There's also the website too.
Yes, and Rob knows that because he puts it on the website for me.
Yeah, I personally, I know about the website. And yes, I really don't have a problem specifically with District 21. Quite the opposite. Over the years, I've been there for questions and great service. And I know the personnel have changed, but the service has still been pretty good. So that's not where I have a problem. I think there's some built-in problems with the whole pathways system that's making it, if it's hard for us, imagine how hard it is for people coming into the organization at membership level.
Richard, does your club provide mentors for every new member?
The answer is we have done that in the past. Currently, we don't have a membership system going.
Okay, so we're supposed to be teaching each other. That's how this program works, right? We
Yeah.
teach each other.
Yeah.
And oftentimes we don't have enough mentors to go around. I've experienced that.
I can just interrupt you there, Dorothy. But we've worked on the membership program, and I think we've had some success with it. Yes, Angela's listening to me, and she's in my club, so we sort of knew what we were doing, and we did it quite well. But you know what? I was leading it, and the biggest problem I had wasn't finding people who wanted to work as mentees or as at the receiving end, but the mentors themselves were very reticent because they felt they didn't have the knowledge and experience to do it. And so I've been scratching my head thinking, well, how can I train mentors? And you'll probably tell me the answer right now because I've never asked it to District 21 before. But that's where we stumbled. We needed more experience at the mentorship level. But we had a good
Okay.
system.
So I hope that you have taken some notes on some of the tools that are on the Pathways website.
Yeah.
There's lots of resources there. The newsletter will always tell you what education sessions are coming up. We do them. Oh, and I'm going to stop myself because the last Monday of every single month, starting in January, we have a new member orientation night for new members. And I send an email specifically to new members, inviting them to that session. That new member orientation is great because they learn the stuff that clubs often don't have the time to teach their members. So encourage, even if you're not new, come to one of those sessions, the last Monday of every month. And it's this same link, the same link that you got into this session, that'll be there. You know, how do you train mentors? Once you've completed level 2 in any path, you will have, Carlos, can you pull that up? You will have a pop-up under supplemental learning that gives you access to the Pathways Mentor Program. That mentor program teaches you, it guides you through being a mentor. So if you look at his, Carlos, can you scroll up a bit so we can see the top of the page?
Sure.
So this is just in your Basecamp Manager profile. Well, this isn't where I was thinking. Can you go to the Paths and Learning tab? Okay, right here. Oh, sorry, that's not where I meant. Go up to Paths and Learning on the bar, on the top bar on the left. Just go back, left, up, where it says Paths and Learning. Yep. Open that. I want to go to that first page. Oh, Carlos, why isn't it taking us there? Carlos,
You want to go to
the first
profile
page.
page?
Did you click on the white Paths and Learning when it dropped down?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want that one. Go home. Go to home, Carlos. Oh, you're logged in as a Basecamp manager.
Right. And
It might be faster for me to do mine because I'm not. Okay, here's mine.
so you want me to go to my Basecamp, just.
Okay, so on this page here, so this, I make mine really big because my eyes are bad. I could go into my Paths and Learning right here, but if I go down to the bottom here, I've got Paths and Learning, and these are extra resources that I have access to, as well as suggested learning. I suspect that most people don't ever look at this. Here are my paths, but see here it says Club Coach Program Module. Because of where I am in my path and the paths and the things that I've done, it suggests other learning that I can take. When you have done level 2 in any project, in this section here, you will find a pop-up that says mentoring. Okay, or you can go up to this search bar up here in the top right corner, and I'm going to type in mentoring. Oh, disappeared. Why did it do that? I encourage you to do this, Richard, this mentoring thing.
Mentors program.
Mentoring. Okay, see how it gives me a pop-up of different things? Mentoring project description, mentoring evaluation, advanced mentoring, mentoring evaluation, mentoring evaluation. If you go to this mentoring project description, this is for anyone who has done level 2. This is available to you. You can launch it, and it goes through that whole mentoring process. So if you have members that are experienced members, but they don't know how to mentor through Pathways, this is where they can be.
Okay.
This will help them tremendously.
Very good. Thank you. Okay.
And if you can't find it, use that search bar.
In previous navigation, I have seen it before. I just haven't dug into it. Yeah.
Okay. And Richard, all of you, the other thing is that if you have a need, that you need something, your club needs something, reach out to the district trio. If your club needs a session, if you need someone to come give your club an ed session, we'll do that. Absolutely. Don't be afraid to ask.
Okay. Okay.
Jen, were you going to say something?
I just have a comment that before we came to Pathways, I think we struggled as much as we struggle now. I don't think it's Pathways. I think it's us. I didn't know Pathways to the distinguished Toastmaster level until I was this far away from it. You just have to keep doing and doing, and you learn and you learn. So it's a matter of application, I think.
I agree with you, Jan. I also think that it's repetition. If you aren't doing it repeatedly, you lose it. I do. If I'm not into my path all the time, I forget how to do things.
Yeah.
Repetition. May, we haven't heard you talk at all.
I totally agree with you, with Dorothy, but I have a very good visual recall, and I've worked in computers for 40 years. I've designed systems. I actually put together an education program online at one time. So I've been there and done a lot of this stuff, and I don't get that visual recall on pathways that I had for the rest of my life. I don't know why it is, but it just doesn't have the kind of same patterns to it that my brain reacts to. I don't know.
Richard, I don't disagree with you. I agree with you, but I know that when Pathways was first mentioned to us, I put up my hand right away and said, I want to be a Pathways guide because this is a whole new program. I want to make sure that my club knows firsthand what to do. So I started Pathways immediately. And was it easy? No, it wasn't. And it's not a perfect system for sure, but they are working on it. It takes a lot of time and money to create this, and now to get feedback to improve it. They know that, and they are working on it. When it asks you to evaluate a project, please evaluate it, because honestly, they do read every single one, and that's how we make it better.
Okay. Good. Okay, that's good.
May, do you have anything to share?
I learned everything all tonight.
Great.
It is difficult, but it was very helpful.
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Nancy, anything to share? Nope. Thanks, Rob, for sharing your time and your knowledge with us tonight.
No problem. My pleasure. It was
And-
good to do this and to learn some stuff at the same time.
Mhm. Yeah. And I totally agree with you, because it's not until we can teach someone else that we actually know it.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, I am going to. Oops.
Cheerio.